Shout out to the supporters of Tupac Was Lyrical. And most definitely, once again, shout out to my man JWALL, a.k.a. John Waller. And please forgive me for taking this time. I've just been real busy. But I'm about to get into your Cash App video request. And we're going to get into it right now with Tupac, Gotta Survive. And then we're going to get into the second one, Tupac, Gangster Team. Break down them lyrics real quick. And let's get into it. Y'all ready? Salute.
Now I've been called a crook, a killer, a thug, a no good dealer of drugs and blood of cuz. Doesn't matter what set you was, cause where I'm at, if you black, we strap. As long as keys make G's, these thieves attack. And ain't no rules on the streets these days. Motherfuckers better watch they back and take it easy. I'm living in the danger zone and learning lessons from the game. It's on, niggas was gone when the frame was on. I'm getting threatening, bronze head. Stay ghetto in heaven, or do I go to hell? See, seems I was sentenced to death, taking my steps with my head down, while pouring liquor for my niggas cause they dead now. My memories since I was a little C was a penitentiary full of niggas like me. These cops can't terrorize us, they despise us, niggas cause we on the rise. Plus, everybody searching for a piece of the truth, and the youth turn the streets into a piece of a roof. And the truth is...
Now Tupac, I love the way he started this flow off. He said, now I've been called a crook, a killer, a thug, a no good dealer of drugs and blood or cuz. Doesn't matter what set you was. I like the way he just did that flow. That shit was just fire. Now, he's definitely been called a crook, a killer, a thug, a no good dealer of drugs and blood or cuz. Doesn't matter what set you was. Like, he been called all that shit. And I say Tupac was called all that because I personally feel Tupac was just affiliated with black people who were definitely affiliated with being a crook, being a killer, being a thug, being a no good dealer of drugs, blood or cuz. It didn't matter what set you was. Some of us just come up that way. We become products of our environment. He said, cause where I'm at, if you black, we strap. And as long as keys make G's, these thieves attack. Basically saying like, yo, he got them drugs, he got them keys, and they making G's. And the thieves will attack, violently rob you. So that's what he means when he says, as long as keys make G's, these thieves attack. And ain't no rules on these streets these days. Motherfuckers better watch they back and take it easy. I'm living in the danger zone and learn the lessons from the game. It's on. Niggas was gone when the frame was on. Living in the danger zone. While I'm making this video, there's a car on the other side of me. Couple of niggas in there. I don't know if they see me with my lights on or whatever, but I'm in the hood. I literally live in the hood. This is the danger zone. And it's a little calm. It's a little calm right now, but this is a danger zone. And learning lessons from the game. It's on. Like, a lot of people need to learn their lessons from the game. Pac definitely learned his lessons from the game. If you don't learn your lessons from the game, you gotta learn your lessons from the game. Because if you want to be a hard-headed and learn the hard way, well, that's still the game showing you. You know what I mean? The game is showing you. That's why sometimes when you play a board game and when you play games, it's best to read the instructions. Some people just dive right in the game and just figure out how to play it as they go. And you can do that shit. On a video game, you got plenty of chances to start all over again. But in real life, you don't get that many chances. So it's either you're going to take heed to when somebody is dropping some gems on you, dropping some jewels on you, dropping some lessons on you, and you're going to take heed to that, or you're going to be a hard-headed dude and learn the hard way. Because it's on. Especially when you're living in the danger zone and learning lessons from the game, it's on. Niggas was gone when the frame was on. So niggas was gone like that part of the game, niggas getting set up, niggas getting framed. And from that point, it was on. He said, I'm getting threats daily. Is there a ghetto in heaven or do I go to hell? See, like, he wants to know because it's crazy down here. It's crazy on earth. A lot of us would like to enjoy heaven on earth. But this is a white man's world. And being that it's a white man's world, we're going by their laws. We going by what they established, their policy. We're going by their credit score. We're going by their system of paying bills every 30 days. Like, their voting system. There's a lot that we're going by. And for us, for black people in general, it's not heaven. It's not heaven. And those who got money you know, they enjoying themselves and stuff like that. But always remember, when it ain't no black nation, when you ain't got no black supermarkets, you ain't got black vehicles like a car that I'm sitting in right now. This is Korean. This is Asian. There ain't no black American car by us. There's not a lot of black American things that can be in competition with every other race out there that's manufacturing and producing products. We black people are the major consumers of that shit. Basically, going back to my point is that we just want heaven on earth. But I don't even want to get too deep in that shit right there, because there's a lot of people. I don't want to get too deep in that. Seems I was sentenced to death, taking steps with my head down, while pouring out looking for my niggas because they dead now. Just feeling depressed, just feeling sad. Homeboys is gone. My memory since I was a little seed was the penitentiary full of niggas like me. And that's crazy. Basically saying just a lot of black men. Just a lot of black men in general. Or it could be a bunch of revolutionaries in jail, like Tupac was a revolutionary. Or it can just be a bunch of young black males just in prison, sitting in a cell. This right here goes right back to the line of talking about heaven on earth. That ain't heaven. And being in a white man's prison system, that shit is hell. Not having a black nation, not having our own shit, that shit is hell. Like I said, I don't even want to get too deep on this. He said these cops can't terrorize us. They despise us, niggas, because we on the rise. Plus, everybody's searching for a piece of the truth. And the youth turn the streets into a piece of Beirut. And the truth is, Beirut, chaos, decay, a lot of war-torn country. A lot of people died. A lot of U.S. soldiers died. A lot of French people died. A lot of kids. This is a lot of human beings just got killed. And Tupac using that as a metaphor to say that the young kids out here, and this song, I'm assuming was made in 1996. Tupac is saying these little brothers, these little niggas out here is wild. Tupac said a long time ago in 93, the streets is death row. So you just look at it now, like this is just real wild out here. Chaos, decay, the violence, the murder. And that's why he says, turn the streets to a piece of Beirut. And I like the part where he says, these cops can't terrorize us. They despise us, niggas, because we on the rise. Plus, that part right there, we on the rise, like we do need to be on the rise right now. And in my opinion, right now, that means unity. Like, we need unity. It's too many black people out here with a xenophobic way of thinking, meaning they don't like Africans, or Africans might not like black people from America, or Haitian, or Jamaican, or Trinidadian, the Caribbeans, or South America, wherever black people are at of the African diaspora. There's a lot of hate amongst us. And we, at this point in time, it needs to be unity so we could be on the rise. Marcus Garvey said, if black people of the African diaspora can unite, we'll restore Earth back to its natural order within 24 hours. But without unity, you'll just constantly see the destruction. You'll constantly see songs like this. You'll constantly see Tupac saying stuff about heaven, wanting to have heaven on earth, and just feeling like it's hell on earth. It shouldn't feel that way for us, man. It shouldn't feel like that. Damn, I was born for this shit. This shit is crazy. This shit is madness. Now let's get into the second one.
Now I'm losing it, cause my brother died looking down a barrel of a knife from the other side. Never really did recover from that episode. Finger on the motherfucking tech, ready to let it go. Boom, now that was really vehement. Told you last year, nigga, holla if you hear me. And one time, can't fuck with my 4-5. Do or die, stay high till I motherfucking die. Cops, killers, killing cops, much props. You get love from the thug niggas on the block. Swinging hard as a motherfucking barbell. Doing it for my niggas in the A.C.A.R.V. Run up on me, buster, and I'm blasting you. You can't fuck with the West Coast Massacre.
He says, now I'm losing it because my brothers died. Looking down the barrel of the 9 from the other side. Never really did recover from the episode. Finger on the motherfucking tech, ready to let it go. Boom! Now these devils really fear me. I told you last year, nigga, holla if you hear me. So right there, Tupac talk about he losing it. And I think this song, this verse right here is about police brutality, police killing us. Because when Tupac gets to that line, now these devils really fear me. I told you last year, nigga, holla if you hear me. So you know this song was, you know this verse is from 1994 at least. Because Tupac is referencing his song, Holla If You Hear Me, which came out in 1993, which was actually recorded in 1992. So, however Tupac was feeling at this point in time when he made this. But he was definitely referring to Holla If You Hear Me. And Holla If You Hear Me was definitely a song about fighting back, busting back at the cops. That's what that definitely was about. Busting back at the cops. He says, in one time can't fuck with my 4-5. Do or die, stay high till I motherfucking die. So you know Tupac, I showed you the video on the last one I did. Tupac definitely had the 4-5, definitely had an arsenal, definitely knew how to shoot. He was one of those ones. He was one of those ones, and he knew who his enemy was, and we know that Tupac actually bust that cops. We actually know that shit. So he didn't just talk it, he lived it. He said, cops, killers, killing cops, much props. Cop killers, killing cops, much props. I remember Tupac said in this video, he was like, now we out here getting our ass whooped and killed by these police because all them black people from the 1960s ain't killed every last one of those COPS back then. So being that you didn't eliminate the problem, those that was born after those that was born like in the 70s, because Tupac is a product, he's a 70s baby, but he's a product of what took place in the 60s, like his mother, Afeni, his father, you know, all them Black Panthers. So those who came up in the 70s, they had to deal with the repercussions and the consequences of not eliminating the enemy as they should. So, and to this day, we still haven't eliminated the enemy. A lot of us have joined their forces, and a lot of us have just chose to see black people, a lot of us have chose to see each other, black on black, as the enemy, and we still let the real enemy continuously lock us up in prison. Like I said earlier on the other verse, we ain't trying to create a black nation. Going back to that first verse, it's still that shit. Like, will we ever enjoy heaven on earth? Because this shit is hell. This shit is hell. You get love from the thug niggas on the block. He said, cop killers killing cops, much props. You get loves from the thug niggas on the block. Swinging hard as a motherfucking barbell. Doing it for my niggas in SC Cartel. South Central Cartel. Run up on me, Buster, and I'm blasting you. You can't fuck with the West Coast Massacre. So, Tupac was a line right there, you know what I mean? Run up on him, and we know that. We know that. Anybody can joke and hate and say, man, Tupac wasn't about that life. You was a damn fool. You was a damn fool. At this point in time, you was a fool, man. Not saying because Tupac died and stuff like that, but just the legacy that he left behind, man. He was definitely going to blast you. He would have definitely did it at the Quad Studios if he was given a chance, but he got lined up. He got hemmed up. He got set up, and they got the drop on him. Just imagine if Tupac would have got the drop. He probably would have still been alive right now. It would have never been all this other stuff that took place. But because they got the drop on Tupac, you got a song like Who Shot Ya? You got, it just got wild after that. It just got wild after that, man. It was just the repercussions of a bunch of nonsense. And Tupac didn't start it. You know what I mean? People brought the drama to him. So once again, that goes right back to this hell on earth shit. You know what I mean? Is there a ghetto in heaven? Or when I die, would I go to hell? Because it's just like, it's fucked up. Either way, I already feel like I'm hell. And if there's a ghetto in heaven, I don't know if I want to fuck with that shit. You know what I mean? Because Tupac said on the other verse, I'm living in the danger zone. But anyway, man, this was a nice verse right here. And I know this is an old verse, and from like 93, 92. And the name of this shit was called Gangster Team, and I had a lot of people on here spitting some joints. So, yo, shout out to my man JWALL, A.K.A. JWALL, and salute. You put me on to this one in particular. I heard Tupac Gotta Survive But this Gangster team, I never heard this verse. Salute.